Hey friends, how you doing today? Hey, a lot going on in the world here today. Unbelievable shit. Our country has been took apart by the seams. These stimulus checks, all we're doing is raising the deficit up. Unbelievable. Giving the people just a meager bit of the stimulus. The rest of it going to projects, other countries, that nothing concerning to help America. Unbelievable what we're doing, what our people that's in charge now. Now here Joe Biden's talking about gun control. Talking about putting a halt to gun sales until they can come up with a better gun registry. Well, folks, we got the best system in the damn world on guns. But no matter what you do, you ain't going to keep people from killing people. You act like it, my God, these 8 women getting killed or whatever it was, these Asian women. Like, oh, hell's far. People hates Asians. Bullshit. This guy was a damn sex fiend. He didn't have nothing against Asian women. Other than he ran out of money and he couldn't get a blowjob. That was the problem why he killed him. This dude had a mental problem. Then we come up, this Syrian-born American transfer walks into a mall, kills 8 or 10. Oh my God, this is a shame. This man's mentally ill. He's a Muslim. He didn't mean to do this. My God, we got to treat it as mentally ill on this one, not as a hate crime, not as nothing else. Oh, if that'd been a good old white Trump supporter, dang, it would have been hollering, electrocute that son of a bitch. We live in a country that's so screwed up. Now, here Joe Biden and Camel Toe Harris and the rest of this Plepso and Chuck Schumer and all this bullshit up there in Washington, D.C., along with the Republicans, holler, oh, we got to stop this violence in the United States. What about Chicago, Mr. Biden, where the people that you say you love? Anywhere from 10 to 30 every weekend's killed up there with gun violence in a city that has no guns. But you never mentioned that. Why don't you ever mention it? Because they're black people, first of all. You can give a shit less about it unless it meets your standards, unless it meets your criteria to make a good damn news story. But just being black ain't one. Down in Georgia, they passed a law which should be across the United States, bar none. You need a damn ID to vote. You need to be an American citizen to vote. That's just the way it should be. And that's what Georgia did. Now here they come out and they said, well, since Georgia did this, we're gonna move this all-star baseball game out of Georgia. Hey, we can't have that in Georgia no more. And the Masters golf course. Oh, we can't have that no more in Georgia because they want people to have an ID to vote. So in other words, is what they're saying about people of color and a lot of you white folks that's on welfare, that you're too damn dumb to get an ID to vote. They're using you as people that's not smart enough to have an ID. But now you got an ID when it comes to going to getting your welfare checks or to get into your free housing. Now, if I'm talking about whites and everybody else, everybody's got IDs for that, but they can't produce them for voting. Why? Because the damn Democratic Party don't want you to produce them. They want to be able to control your vote, to vote as many times as they want to, using anybody's name that they want to, and they want to destroy what's little bits left of this country. Now, they was hoping on a war between the blacks and the whites. Oh, they tried their damnedest. This Black Lives Matter and this a feed of bullshit. Oh, God, white people hates blacks. Bullshit. The government's making white people hate blacks. You can't take one race and put it above everybody else. Orpha Winfrey out there, oh, if you're white, you got a privilege. Fuck you, Orpha Winfrey. I ain't got no fucking privileges except getting my ass out of bed and going to work. That's being white. I get so tired of hearing people like her bullshit. This billionaire. Now, this woman's a billionaire, a black woman, that all white privileges, you can't survive without white privileges. I mean, that dang if she ain't doing pretty good, ain't she? Huh? A lot of these black peoples are millionaires out there hollering, oh, these white people's keeping you down. No. Your black people's keeping you down. Your idiots that you elect to put in Congress and Senate and the House, that's the people that's keeping you down. They don't want people, whether you're white or whether you're black, they don't want you to be able to read and write. They want you to depend on the government to keep them in charge. Now, that's fine and dandy. It'll work for quite a while. Well, it has worked for quite a while. But eventually, when people like me, good black people working black people, good working Mexicans, good working Cubans, good working Chinese, when we all get fed up and there's more you than us, then there's not going to be no more checks. You know, don't holler my white privileged ass at me out here working and paying taxes. Just so your party can use you and keep you oppressed or depressed or whatever the hell you want to call it. Goddamn, we've come up with more new stuff in this racism shit now. We got culture racism. We got right racism. We got chicken shit racism. I mean, you name it. Boy, we got a racism for it now. You know, then, here we go back. We've been a year under this COVID-19 bullshit. You know, it's a real virus. There's no question about that. People die, but people die of every virus. They die of flus, they die of pneumonia, they die of heart attacks, they die of a lot of damn shit. But here we let this country be destroyed by this COVID-19 bullshit with a livable success rate of 99.1%. You'll never know the truth. The government ain't ever going to let us know the truth. But you know, it was actually a miracle disease. It cured heart disease, cured pneumonia, cured the flus. I mean, it cured everything except COVID-19. A miracle. Except for the ones that died from COVID-19, supposedly. But here, we went a year. Now, all of a sudden, we find out in the United States, by Mr. Trump, that we don't even make no pharmaceuticals here in the United States. It's all made in China. And we've been a year and we've not corrected this yet. We're not building no plants. And you know why we're not building none in the United States, folks? The biggest reason is because everybody turns around and ends up suing in here in the United States and they can't stay in business. That's why they make this shit over in China. And they're not liable. But we don't understand that, do we? You know, supposedly if we get in a war with China, they cut off all their trade with the United States. Well, I understand it now. We're just as good as dead. We ain't going to get shit. We can't make nothing without some of their products. You know, like people getting laid off at Ford and Chevrolet and Chrysler because China's slowed up on making chips. We can't make it here in the United States. Oh, it's nothing to do with not making it. It's that we not got child labor at 50 cents an hour to make it. Then bring in the United States, probably, I don't know how many in one of these containers, probably 1 million of them. 50 cents to make, selling for $300 a piece. Pretty damn good profit off the kids' backs, ain't it? Then you sweet loving people that wants all these refugees and that you loving. Well, here China's taking these same refugees and these same Muslim people especially. Right now they're making more Nike shoes and Apple telephones than anything else. This is slave labor, Muslim slave labor and Christian slave labor. That's one thing about China. They ain't choosy on the religions. They don't want none. But here you go buy you a pair of Nike tennis shoes that's made by these Christian and Muslim slaves. And boy, you're proud of it. You're proud of them because some big old basketball players said, oh, damn it, you need to wear Nike shoes. We do. Look at us. We're millionaires. But we don't do nothing to help you all. Not a friggin' thing. Apple telephones probably cost no more than $20 to make. No more than $20 in China with slave labor. And what do they sell for here? Same damn thing. But we can't make it here in this country. We're not smart enough. You know, China stole the technology off us to do this. Now we've let them mess around. They got a Navy that's bigger than theirs. They've always had an Army bigger than theirs. And now here Joe Biden wants to take any forms of defense we got. That way, when one of these countries does now decide to invade us, once their guns is took, it'll be simple. Yeah, it'll be very damn simple. They'll never take this country as long as the people has weapons like we have now. So I don't know what the answer to that one is, except when you come to get it, you might get a surprise of a lifetime. You might get a surprise that people just not going to give it up. You know, we got a right to own weapons, not to hunt with, not to do nothing else, but to protect from ourselves from what's in our government right at the moment, trying to destroy this country and its people. So, folks, we need to think about a lot of things in this country. Next election, we need to think about a whole lot. You know, it don't make a shit if you elect a Democrat or a Republican, as long as they're not career politicians. But we can't elect an individual that's not a career politician. I don't know what the answer to that one would even be. No idea. But if you elect more common people with a little bit of common sense into government, this country would be back number one on its feet and out of debt within 5 years. 5 years, we'd be totally out of debt and number one. But no, we'd rather elect people to keep wasting money, borrowing money, keep building more of this free housing for people. Yeah, now we want to give these refugees coming across our border, not Mexicans, but refugees from on down south in Central America. We actually want to give them their Social Security now, something that Americans have worked for all their life and paid in. So now we want to share it with the refugees. Can you imagine this? I mean, when's it going to stop? And, you know, I don't blame Joe Biden for what he's done, because he's not doing it. He's just nothing but a figurehead up there, and like that one executive order, well, I don't even know what I'm signing. Just sign it. God have mercy, people. His wife's got to be one of the lowest forms of life on earth to let her, well, she don't care about it anyway. She just likes the power and the prestige. If she thought anything about him, she wouldn't let him use him like a jackass. You know, this border issue. You people holler, oh, Trump did this, Trump did it. Trump ain't did a fucking thing. Trump stopped this border shit. They wasn't coming across the border. You elected Democrats, oh, y'all welcome. Nancy Pelosi said, this is the people that should own America, is these refugees. That's how stupid these people are, politicians. Look at her district, the homeless, the scuzzy, the streets shit in and pissing in. And you got people like this leading America? You got a senile old man as president? You got a first-class, high-class hooker as vice president? I mean, my God, people, what's it turned to? Now I guess that Bill Clinton and old Camel Toes is going on a women's tour to tell y'all how to act like women. I'm sure Bill Clinton's got some good pointers for you good-looking women out there. He'll give you the point, all right. So don't be proud. And you know, last thing, everybody went to church this morning. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people. Bet you never heard one word about what's wrong in the United States right now. You ever heard nothing about what the pedophiles are wanting to make legalized to rape your little children, your little granddaughters, your children? Bet that old pastor never touched a bit on that. Bet you never touched a bit on maybe putting prayer back in school. I bet you never said nothing about anything in America that's wrong. You know, and And folks, that's what's wrong with this country. These pastors, the majority, not all, but the majority, has led people to believe, and you hear this shit every day, God's in charge. Folks, don't take people's word for what God's going to do. Read the Revelations in the Bible and see what God's going to do after people turn away from Him, what they're doing now. Once you turn away from His word, just read what's going to happen. And He said, won't be no more Noah's arks. Won't be no more singling out cities like Sodom and Gomorrah. His word, which is gospel, which is the truth, He said He was going to smoke this planet. Fire and brimstone, after you suffer like a damn dog for quite a while. So don't come up with this shit, God's in charge, He's going to take care of it. He gives you the ability to take care of it. He gives you the ability, once every 2 years, to go vote for people that'll stand up for what He believes in. Not abortions, not gay marriages, not pedophiling, not keeping prayer out of school, not destroying religious statues, not doing away with the good book itself. But that's what you vote for when you vote for a Democrat right now. They actually said that there's no room in the government for God. Ain't that unbelievable? And you Christians support this? Then some way, somehow, you make yourself a stand-up Christian, but you still vote for a Democrat. Explain that one to me. All you got to do is explain it to me, and I'll never mention it again on a video. You explain to me how you can support Joe Biden as president and confess to be a Christian person. God bless you. Say a prayer for the country. It's about God. Say a prayer that next election that we'll elect some people back in these people's positions that'll do something, folks. That'll actually do something for the good of this country, the good of American people, not refugees, not nobody but Americans. To hell with these other people. I mean, we got our problems here. We got children starving. We got people sleeping on the streets. We got veterans that's been shell-shocked and miserable shape, and we put them on the streets in cardboard boxes. That's why I can make these videos on account of them veterans, folks. They fought for my freedom, and we need to take care of them. But the government, if the government had their way, they'd put every ex-military person to sleep. They've actually said that. Camel Toes even said that the military was the biggest bunch of tourists in the world. Our military. Now let that sink in. God bless you. Talk to you later. And please, folks, let's change this country.